Okay, so this is a pretty common calculator. The exponent key on here is this EE. It's a second function EE. So if I want to put something into scientific notation, I hit 2.5, second function, and then I hit my EE key. Oh, I hit the wrong key. Or the second function didn't work. So let me go back. It's a new calculator. So 2.5, second function EE, and then let's say it's to the third power. So once you hit the exponent key, you do not need to hit the times 10. And if I hit equals, it's going to put it into scientific notation for me. Up here on this button, you have the scientific and engineering mode. So if I want to put this number into scientific notation, I'm going to hit the second function key, and then I'm going to go over floating. FLO means regular notation, floating decimal. If I want to put it in scientific notation, I'm going to do it like that. And it'll put my number in scientific notation. It has like a little itty bitty times 10. So you can put it into scientific notation, or you can take it out of scientific notation pretty easily. Just keep in mind, your calculator doesn't know sig figs, and that's on you. If you have a negative exponent, like 2.109, second function exponent, you're going to use this negative sign, -3, let's say. You're not going to use the minus sign. Some calculators it doesn't matter, but some calculators it does. So it goes like that. And if I want to put it in scientific mode, it's going to put it in scientific notation for me. So you really need to know how to do the sig figs, and then your calculator will do the brunt of the work for you. But you need to know that this is for sig figs, because if you do something like 100.0, now the way I put it in there, that's 4 sig figs. But if we put it into scientific notation, it's going to drop those zeros out. It does not know the quantity is any different. So you need to know that it's going to be 100.0. And then if you go back and put it into regular notation, it'll drop that 0.0. Because again, it doesn't know sig figs. Okay, so there's different calculators, and I only have that one with me right now. But I thought I'd go ahead and show you the different keys. Down here is a times 10 to the x. So when you're doing any calculator, you're going to go 2.5, exponent key, and then you just put in the exponent. For mode on this one, it's actually under setup. So you're going to hit shift setup, and then there's a scientific mode. And then you'll take it out the same way. This Casio is the same thing for the mode. It's actually the setup. Well, this one says mode. Maybe it is mode. I don't have the actual calculator. But you'll notice that this one, its exponent key says exponent instead of times 10. So they all have a little bit different appearance, but depending upon which calculator you have is going to determine how you do things. 2.5, this one's got an EE. The one I was using, it was a second function, but this one's straight function. EEE, you hit your exponent and then equals. This one's really easy to go in between modes. So you see the FLO above this 4, and above the 5 there's an SCI. So you just second function SCI in scientific notation, second function FLO into regular notation. So I have a couple other ones to show you. This is the best I could do. Let's print them. This is a pretty popular one right here. This one, you're going to be putting things in 2.5. Your exponent key is up here, times 10 to the n. Now once you hit that key, you don't ever put the 10 in. You put in the exponent and you hit equals. This is a mode right here for the scientific notation, and you just got to play around with that one to get the mode. This one's kind of tricky though. When you're dividing by scientific notation, this one's a naughty calculator. It doesn't always behave itself. So we'll talk about that probably more next unit. Okay, on this one, the exponent key is right here. So 2.5 exponent 3 equals. It's got a mode button, but this one you got to keep hitting mode until you hit scientific. It'll say SCI. You hit it, and then it's going to ask you how many. It goes 0 to 9, and I always pick the biggest number because it's asking you how many decimal places. So I don't want it to round for me because I never know how many sig figs I'm going to use. So I'm going to hit that mode key, and I'm always going to choose the largest number they give me. So if it goes from 0 to 9, I'm going to choose 9. If it's like 0 to 2, I'm going to choose 2. And again, I think this calculator is very, very similar to that other one I showed you. Your exponent key is right here, EE, and then second function FLO, second function SCI. You can move in between. Okay, now sometimes people tell me, well, I have a graphing calculator. It doesn't matter. Graphing calculator is going to do the same thing. It's got a second function EE right above here. You've got 2 second function buttons. You're going to hit the green one and then hit the EE button right there and then put in your exponent. And it also has a mode key up here that you would do the same thing. You hit it and then you're going to go down on the menu and choose scientific mode, and then everything will be in scientific notation for you. And then you have to do the same thing to put it back in regular mode. And then this last one I have here, your exponent key is this EE. So you're either looking, there's a variety of ways. It's so hard with different calculators. 2.5, EE, 3, exponent. And to change it out of scientific mode, it's going to be another into and out of scientific. It's going to be the mode key. So you can see there's a lot of different ways. It's either the EE, sometimes it's a second function, sometimes it's a button, sometimes it's times 10 to the n. This is just says EXP. This one is an EE button. The E button, and then exponent key, and then times 10 to the x. So you really need to just get to be friendly with your calculator and know how to use it because it's an excellent tool.